I'm saying I was in a meeting with with the vice chancellor, but I think you saw the messages. I had informed you I was in a meeting.
Yeah, I was able to see the message.
Yeah, that is good. You're supposed to be taking this unit advanced computer support and maintenance.
Yeah.
I think I had sent the invitation message, Mr. Mwangi. I'll be taking you through this unit. I think we have never interacted before. Is it true?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think you know me.
Yeah, I do know you, sir.
Yeah, so I'll be taking you through this unit. I still will be taking you through the web development
Yeah.
and still the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to go to the introduction. Now, actually, this topic has two areas. It has what we call maintenance. It has what we call troubleshooting. Because, maintenance and troubleshooting, they go hand in hand together. Yeah, they go
Yeah.
hand in hand. So I will start with the troubleshooting. And troubleshooting is the process of diagnosing a problem together. But it's the process of figuring out this problem in a computer system. And we have various methods of what troubleshooting together. For example, now we have before I go to the how we can troubleshoot various aspects, we have the basic troubleshooting what steps are together. For example, step one, I'm saying because I want to discuss the various troubleshooting methods, you can, for example, troubleshooting a printer, troubleshooting a network. But before we go to that, you see these are
Yeah.
branches of what troubleshooting. We can have
Yeah.
the major steps in what in troubleshooting together. For example,
Yeah.
the troubleshooting steps you have one. There is what you call you cross open programs and videos you're not currently you using it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, maybe your laptop is freezing it together and you have some programs which you're not using. So step one is supposed to make sure you have closed all these open programs. Do that
Programs.
now. Yeah, you can ensure that the codes are connected properly. The codes, the cables. For example, you can be having the VGA cable from the system unit to the monitor together. You ensure that these codes are connected properly. Still, you can be having some cables. For example, in case you have connected the printer, you can have that cable from the printer to the computer. You have to ensure that it is connected properly
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Then still, you can use some commands together. You can do what? You can use some commands together. For
Yeah.
example, in case you are having a problem maybe last week, the same problem last week, and you use some commands and that problem was able to be diagnosed, you can still use the same commands. But in case now you use the same commands now and there is no response from the computer or from that device, you can just press F1 together. Actually, the
Yeah.
F1 it helps you to access what the help option in a computer still in a program together. The what the F1 together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once done now, and you realize still there's a problem now, you have to go directly now to the main problem together. For example, you can do this. You can install the computer together.
Yeah.
You can start the computer. So these are the major troubleshooting steps together. But now
Yeah.
I want to branch now to the common issues together. To what? The common issues.
Common
And one of the
issues.
common issues, yes, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing
Yeah,
you.
and I'm saying maybe we can branch now to the common issues or the common problems that we experience in the workplace and the various solutions we can have together to overcome all these problems. And one of the
Yeah.
issues is that, for example, the printer is not working. The printer. Now you have the computer is here and you have the printer is here. But you realize once you try to print now, it is not
Yeah.
working. Now, how can you diagnose this problem together? Now, the first step you can do now to ensure or to check whether why is this
Mm.
printer not working? Check whether it is turned on. Together,
Yeah.
yeah, you know very well. In the case now the printer is off, there is way you can do what you can print. You can print. So step one, ensure that the printer is what is turned off on, and
On.
you try printing. Yeah, and try printing. But in case you realize still you cannot print now, you have to check whether the print has the paper together. You do what? You shake the
That's
print has though the papers are together. And you
yeah.
know very well. If there is no papers to do what? You add the papers to the tray. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then still, in case now the printer is not working, you're supposed to shake the paper jam. You do what? You shake the paper jam right together.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you may have some papers which are stopped in the printer. So you have to ensure you do what you remove. Still, you can ensure that all the cables are connected properly together. For example, most of the computers they use what the USB cable together. So you have to
Yeah.
ensure that cord or that cable is connected properly together.
Yeah.
Once you do that, you realize still that this printer is not working. You turn off the printer and you turn it on again together.
Yeah.
And the last step now you realize, in case it is still not working, you check whether the printer driver is installed. Remember, the drivers must be installed. They must be what? Install together. In case
Yeah.
now the problem is the driver, you have to download the driver and install it together. Once you install it, then you can do what you can print. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is how you ensure or you troubleshoot what a printer problem.
Yeah.
Then another issue you can have, the keyboard is working. For example, maybe you're using a system unit and you're having an external keyboard and you realize that the keyboard is not working. How can you troubleshoot this problem? How can you identify the problem in what? In this scenario. The first
Yeah.
step you have to do, you have to ensure that this keyboard is connected to the computer. If not, you do what? You connect
Next.
it. If not,
Yeah.
you connect
You
it.
can.
What if you're using a wireless keyboard? What can you do?
Wireless keyboard. Maybe, for example, the keyboard uses power. You must ensure it's turned on or
Yeah, because
connected.
because most of the times now, for example, the wireless keyboard, it
Yeah.
can be using what? The batteries are together. So you have to
Yeah.
ensure they have what? The power together.
Yeah.
What if now, let me ask, what if now, if one of the keys, the keyboard is stuck, you have to unstock it together. You have to unstack it together. Yeah, because
Yeah.
now this can affect the keyboard from what? From working.
Yeah. Working.
Still, in case you realize, most of the time you realize still the keyboard is working, the last step you have to do, you have to restart the computer. And once you restart the
Yeah.
computer, actually the keyboard starts working.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what if now you realize that the mouse is not working? What can you do in case the mouse is not working? The mouse. What can you do in case the mouse is not working? You can follow the same simple procedure of using the keyboard. So you have to ensure that the cord or the cable is connected to the computer together. If not,
Yeah.
you plug it computer together.
Yeah.
Still, you have to check whether this cord is damaged. What if it is damaged? What can you do if it is damaged? The cord or the cable. You have to
The
replace.
cable.
You have to what? Yeah, you have to replace.
Let's
You have to
replace.
replace it. What if
Yeah.
now you are using a wireless mouse? How can you do? Or what can you do? A
For
wireless
example,
mouse.
the mouse is damaged.
Yeah, the mouse. Yeah, and you're using a wireless, not the one having a cord, the wireless mouse. What can you do?
Mm, I'm not getting your point. So, in
I'm
case
saying
the mouse is
that
damaged,
remember you have we have two mouses. You have one which is having a cord or a cable,
yeah,
and one is wireless. Is it true?
yeah,
What can you do now in case now you're using a wireless mouse and it has a problem?
eh, yeah.
Remember
You
this
said,
mouse do not have a cord. Is it true?
yeah,
What can you do?
you said earlier,
Yeah.
in case maybe you check on if the mouse has power.
Yes, the batteries. Yeah, that is one.
Yeah. Then the other one, you check on the connections. You can also troubleshoot
Yes.
by restarting your computer.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. Then lastly, you can do this. Remember, you can keep the mouse at the bottom together. You have to ensure
Yeah,
it is dust free. It should not have the dust. So together, remember, there's a what? There is a lens.
yeah,
Now, still, we can have another issue. For
yeah,
example, maybe your computer is slow. For example, maybe like your computer is slow. What can you do? Now, in case your computer is slow, the fastest
yeah.
thing you can do, you can restart your computer.
Yes.
So you can do what? You can restart
That,
your computer. In case still you restart your computer and you realize still it is very, very slow. You have to confirm the memory. Remember, local disk C. Your local disk C. In case now it is full, you have to
to,
uninstall some programs. Together, some programs. Together,
yeah,
you can uninstall some programs. Still,
yeah,
you can empty the recycle bin. Remember, the recycle bin contains information if you're not using it together. The
yeah,
information. So you can just
yeah,
empty the recycle bin together. You ensure.
yeah,
Remember, your is on the desktop. Together.
Yes.
Yeah, still, we can have the disk cleaner. Together. Have you ever seen that? For example, in case you just go to your local disk C, you have the disk cleanup. The disk
Yeah.
cleanup. In case you go
Yeah.
to local disk C, then you right click at the properties. You click the
Yeah.
properties. Then you can have the disk cleaner. Together. Actually, the
Yes.
purpose of this, actually, the purpose of this one, it is to remove unnecessary what files. Together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a PDF I sent which is having the procedure together. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, having the procedures.
The
You can have the
procedure.
disk cleanup. Then still you can remove some files, some temporary what files together. Remember these files, they're not of any use to the computer together. For
Yes.
example, in case you go to the browser, we have the history. You can just create what the history together.
Yes.
Still, there's a software or there's a yeah, it is more of a software or a disk utility called the disk fragment. Have you ever seen it? The disk fragmenter.
Fragment. Yes.
Yeah, actually, you know what is fragmentation? What happens now? Sometimes, in case you have a document on the desktop, you delete it.
Yeah.
You copy
Yeah,
that
I do.
document to local
Yeah.
disk, maybe local disk D. Then you delete
Yeah.
it from local disk D. You place it back to the desktop. It causes a lot of fragmentation. And this fragmentation sometimes they occupy some space, So every
Yes.
time you have to defragment your disk together.
Yes.
In case you go to the search button here in your computer and just type fragmentation, just type what? Fragmentation. You can just see
Yeah.
it. Can you see it? Just type that in your desktop, in your start button, just type fragmentation, just type fragmentation. But not for this one, it depends on the videos you're using. You're using which videos? Windows 10 or Windows 7?
Fragmented.
Just type fragmentation. Fragmentation. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you just click it. Just click it. Can you see we have the drives? We have local disk C. We have the
Yeah.
now, in case you're using, like now I'm using Windows 10, I can see now we have the drive, we have the media, the last run, and the current status. Can you see yours? Is it fragmented?
Yeah.
Now, in your code disk C, what is the fragmentation? What
Pardon?
percentage? I'm saying, have you opened the fragmentation tool?
Yes.
Now, if you look on farm local disk C, like mine has 0% fragmentation. What about yours?
1%.
1%. In case now there's 1%, you can just click it. Right together. You just
Yeah.
click it and you click optimize or defragment. Right together. Just click that and you click what? Optimize or defragment. Defragment. Right together.
Yes.
Because you have to ensure that the fragmentation it is at zero. At what? At what? At z? At
0.
zero. I think you have understood that.
Yes.
Yeah, that is what fragmentation.
Yeah.
Still, we can have another issue apart from the computer is not working, the keyboard is not working. Sometimes the computer is frozen together, or a certain
Yeah.
program is not responding. What are you supposed to do? In case you realize a certain program is not working or your computer has frozen, you can just go to the taskbar together, or to the task manager. Or the manager together.
That's yeah.
Yeah, task manager. Then you can hide the program's name and you edit the task together. Maybe you can do this. Just open your task manager.
Um,
Yeah, just have you opened the task manager?
yes.
Yeah, in case you open your task manager, you can see various programs which are running together. You can see various programs. In case, for example, maybe for example, you have MS Word is not working or it has frozen, you can just click it and you click what editors together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, have you understood that point?
Yes, sir.
That is in case now your computer is what is frozen, but still
Yeah.
we can have other issues. For example, in case you have a new hardware together or you have a new software, it is not working. For example, maybe you have downloaded a certain program from the internet and you are trying to install that program in your computer. Sometimes you may realize that there's a problem with the installation together. And
Yeah.
now, what happens most of the time, maybe because of what compatibility. For example, in case your machine is a 64-bit and you have downloaded the 32-bit program, there is no way you can install that program, that computer. Why? There is what we call incompatibility problems altogether.
Yeah.
Understood? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
but still sometimes you can install the correct program. You can install the correct program, but still realize it is not working. What you can do, you can uninstall or you remove the program from the computer, then install it afresh. Together.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But but in case now you have two programs in the computer, you have to remove one because you have some corrections. You have some what? Some corrections.
Correction. Yeah.
Yeah. For example, let me just give you an example. Like you're supposed to develop a system this semester together.
Yeah.
Like
Pardon.
now, let me just give you an example. You're supposed to this semester at a point two. Is it true? I'm saying I'll give an example. Now this semester. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, we have two servers here. You can either use WAMP. You know what is WAMP? WAMP server.
One server. Yes.
Yeah. And you have XAMPP server. You have what XAMPP server?
Exam
XAMPP
server.
server. You can use any. But you realize in case you have installed the two programs, both these two programs they use port 8. They use what port what? Port A?
Put
80.
A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80.
A.
Yeah, port 80. Yeah, port 80.
Yeah.
So there is no way you can be running a program at the WAMP and XAMPP when both are on. Why? There is port conflict. You have what? Conflict
Conflict.
together. Yeah, conflict.
Yes.
Why? They are using the same port together. So you have to ensure you remove one to avoid what? That conflict.
Yeah.
See, that was a software is not working correctly. It's a new hardware. For example, maybe you have added a new lamp. For example, maybe your machine was having 2 GB and you're
Yeah.
upgrading to 4 GB, or you have added another 2 GB, but you realize it
Yeah.
is not working. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to remove that hardware and install what a new or you
Hardware.
troubleshoot. Yeah, you troubleshoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are some of the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any question at that point? Any question?
I've gotten you. Mm,
Any question at that point?
no questions, sir.
Yeah. What if now? Let me ask you. What if now you're
Yeah.
using a certain browser together
Yes.
and it's not working? What can you do? You're using a certain browser and it's not working. For example, you have installed maybe Opera Mini or you have installed Mozilla Firefox, but it's not working. What can you do?
You can uninstall it and install it again.
And that is correct.
Yeah.
You can uninstall it, then install it again, right together. Then
The
you can
the
update.
other way
Yes.
you can troubleshoot it.
Yes. How will you troubleshoot it?
I can right click on the program,
Yes.
or the you said earlier that I can use a certain command
Yeah, you
in
can use
command.
command. Yeah. In case now you had used a command previously, in that command, diagnose the problem and solve it. You can use it once more. Yes. What else?
Yeah. I can check the compatibility. For example, it might be maybe my computer is 64 bits. Then
Yes.
I've installed the program which is 32 bits. So
Yes.
it won't. Yeah.
That is problem. Maybe you're using but you realize that has changed suddenly. What can you do? For example, even the settings or the appearance of that browser, what can you do?
But
I'm saying maybe you're
yeah.
using Mozilla Firefox together, and you realize
Yes.
that browser has changed the homepage. What can you do? Remember, the homepage is the first page of your site or the index page. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do?
How about I restart my computer by restarting the.
And this restarting will affect your.
Yeah.
If you can restart the browser, you can do restart the browser together. Or
Huh?
sometimes you can go to
Yeah.
settings. You can go to settings. I'm saying you can restart the browser in case you realize the problem is still persisting. You can the settings of the browser, then you reset the browser to default.
Yeah.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
You just go to the settings, then you set to default. Because now once you set the bus to default, you undo all the changes you had made initially together. Yeah, so these are some of the problems in what? These are some of the problems in the various mechanisms you can use to solve them together. Yeah, these are
Yes.
just a few, but we have several. So you can have a network. For example, you can have another issue. The network or your smartphone not connected
Yeah.
to the computer, or in case you're using the internet cable, there is no intercomputer. So you have to ensure that the router is on.
The router
The router
is
is on. Still, you have to ensure in case you're using a switch, in case that computer or that cable is connected to a switch, you have to ensure that the switch is what is on. Is
on.
still you have to ensure that you have not disabled the network. That was the network together.
Yeah.
So you have to ensure, for example, sometimes in case you have a correlation of IP addresses, sometimes they may affect and ensure there's no correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was troubleshooting. Then there is what we call maintenance. You can have some maintain that was troubleshooting, or probably troubleshooting before I go to maintenance.
Yeah.
Any question?
No question. In maintenance, yeah, according to me,
Yeah.
maintenance is just maybe uh, you can repair broken parts of maybe your computer or your printer,
Yes.
or just ensuring that your computer is working
Yes.
to minimize breakages.
Yeah, to minimize breakage. Yeah. Still, you can say that it is a process of ensuring that the computer is in what is in a good state. Together,
Is
it is in a good
yeah,
what state or good working condition. That is what maintenance. Now we have various types of maintenance. You have what types of maintenance. I think you have I think you have heard about preventive maintenance. Have you heard about it? Preventive maintenance.
preventive
Preventive.
maintenance. Yeah,
Yes, have you come across it? You have preventive maintenance. You have active maintenance. Active maintenance.
yeah,
I'm saying, can you hear me? Yeah.
yeah,
I'm saying you have types of maintenance. You have corrective maintenance. You have
yeah,
adaptive maintenance, perfective, and you have what preventive maintenance. Because you can either maintain a hardware or a software together. For example, in preventive maintenance, you have to ensure or you have to prevent what a problem from occurring together.
yes,
Or let me see, in preventive, it is that proactive maintenance of equipment before a failure occurs. Together, before what a failure occurs. So you ensure that everything is working properly to prevent what a certain fault or a certain failure from occurring in the future. That is what preventive maintenance.
yeah,
For sometimes, let me just give an example. In case you have a car, in case you have what? In case you have a car, there is what we call routine maintenance. You have routine maintenance,
routine.
every
Yeah,
day, yeah, routine maintenance. That is a form of a prevent. Example, you can decide to check the engine condition to prevent a fault from occurring in the future together. That is what we call preventive maintenance.
mm,
You prevent a problem from occurring. Then there is what we call there is no way you can correct unless a problem has occurred together.
yes,
That means the corrective maintenance is called the repair maintenance. That was the repair maintenance. A problem has occurred because a problem to has to occur. For example, in a computer system, make one morning or you try to switch on your system unit, but you realize there is no signal in what in the monitor together. Maybe now
yeah,
there is a problem with the display chip, so you have to conduct what we call the corrective maintenance together, or you have to repair what that display chip together.
yes,
Yeah, and the major objective of the maintenance it is to restore the operationality of the system. I think to restore that system into what in a good state together. That is what we call the corrective maintenance. A problem has to occur, and you have to repair. You have to repair. Then
Yes.
there is what we call adaptive maintenance. You have what? Adaptive. From the word
Maintenance.
adapt. Hmm?
Yeah.
And for example, we have the changes in technology. You have what? Changes in technology together. Or we have emerging things in what due to what technology together. So you for your system to adapt now, you have to conduct what they call adaptive maintenance together. For this one, it entails the changes to the functionality of the system, which are
Mm.
developed based on what the customer needs together. Or now what you can do in this maintenance, you can implement new changes together, or you can modify that system to adapt to what to new changes together.
Yes. Uh,
That is yes,
for example, maybe you have a certain software,
yeah,
then there is an update. Updating
yes.
that software is that adaptive maintenance?
Some yeah, it can be an adaptive maintenance or even it can be preventive together. For
Yeah.
example, let me use for example when you're updating
Virus. Yeah.
antivirus, that can be preventive. Is it true? Because you're preventing. Remember, every day we have new malwares. You have what new malwares? Is it true?
Yeah.
You're preventing your computer from crashing in the future together or from being infected by what by new malware. That is what preventive together. But still, when you are updating the Windows, for example, you are using Windows 7. Is it true?
Yeah.
You update Windows 10. That is adaptive together. So you have new programs and you have new features in Windows 10. We have new
Yeah.
programs which can only run in what in Windows 10. Windows 10. That is a form of adaptive together.
Yes.
Any other question?
And I have no other question.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, why do we conduct maintenance? Why do we conduct computer maintenance? Why do we conduct
Huh?
that?
Why?
Why do we conduct computer maintenance?
Mm, we conduct computer maintenance.
Yeah,
Maybe the one way is to avoid breakages. For example, you're using a computer
yeah,
to work in a busy company like, let's say, a bank.
yeah.
Prevent future maybe in future your
Yeah.
computer crashes. To avoid that problem, you'll have to do maintenance.
What else? That is one. That is one. That is correct. What
Mm.
else?
Maybe
What else? Yeah,
to, to avoid
yeah,
future expenses.
yeah. Few expenses. Yeah, that is because now, for example, in case your machine was not having an antivirus program,
Yeah.
in case that computer is infected by malware, it can corrupt together. Remember, data is very essential together. So you maintain the kind of cost when you are storing the information.
Information.
Yeah. So one of the objectives or one of the benefits of having maintenance, it is to ensure it is to increase the lifespan of the computer together, the lifespan
Yeah.
of the computer together.
Yeah.
We can have another importance. It is to enable the technician to get the right tool or materials for the right job together. In case it is in terms of hardware, the technician to get what the right tool or materials for what for the right job
Yeah.
together. And still, the maintenance can help to prevent what unnecessary costs. Unnecessary what costs.
Cost.
Prevent
Yeah.
unnecessary what costs.
Cost. Yeah.
So these are some of the benefits of having what
The
or the
maintenance.
benefits of maintaining what the computers. Still the computers you can even have what the softwares.
Yeah.
I can see Gla is online. She has just got in.
Yeah.
Francisca, good afternoon. Now we have some tools which are used for maintenance. Together, have you heard about the Hex driver? Have you heard about them?
Yeah.
I'm saying we have some tools
Yeah.
which can be used for maintenance. Together, although this one is supposed to be the next lecture, We'll be discussing the various tools that are used in maintenance. Have you heard about the X driver? The X driver.
Yeah.
We have the wire cutter together. We have anti-static mats. We have the screwdrivers. We have the cable tires. We have the flathead screwdriver together. So the next section now we'll be discussing the tools that are used in maintenance. Yeah, the various tools that are used in maintenance. And I'll say we'll be discussing about what is a hex driver, what is a wire cutter, what is a lint-free cloth, what are cable, what are part retriever. We'll be discussing this in our next lecture.
No.
So
Lecture.
maybe we can ask some questions. Gila, any question?
No questions, sir.
Yeah, I can see that is Samson. What about Gila? Any question? Yeah, now maybe you can just give your views about the lecture. Was it interactive? Any challenges you had? I know especially the network was having a problem. I know that is a major issue. So any other issue?
According to me,
Yeah.
we are rather enjoying class where I've been. It was interactive because I was being able to ask questions, being asked questions.
Yeah, so it was interactive.
Yeah, unlike the normal classes where the population is high, the lecturer really doesn't care.
Yeah, that is good because now that is good because in a lecture it's supposed to be interactive. Together, I ask some questions, you ask some questions together, and it's supposed to take advantage of that because now when you can ask some questions and I'm able to respond. Yeah, any other issue? Any other?
I have no other issue.
Or what about Gila is online? Yeah. Let me ask. Now, Samson, what I'll do, there's a question in the chat group now on this unit, and you're supposed to discuss with your classmate together. I'll say that question. It is a topic together. You're supposed to discuss together. You discuss. I'll be review the feedback together. Yeah, so I'll review the comment together. I have a question in maintenance, so I'll be reviewing the feedback. Yeah, in case of any other question, you can answer together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're much welcome. So I'll be posting it in the chat group now in 2 minutes together. Just confirm because I want to discuss all that.
Yes.